And good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to Divine Disbelief. We are your home for secular news and opinion here on YouTube. I'm Susan.
And the Braves are up 2-1 against the St. Louis Cardinals. And I think the Cowboys lost today.
They did. They did. It's amazing for two people who live so close to AT&T Stadium. We do give so few shits about the Cowboys.
Yep, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
I like it when the Cowboys win their home games because it makes traffic not as bad.
Yeah.
But when they lose, I think just thinking.
Well, I feel like when they lose, when they're losing, people leave early.
Yeah.
So it makes it it causes that clusterfuck earlier.
Which the Cowboys, they should have I wish that or rather the Packers should have just done more to put the game away because they were up 31-3. Yeah,
Oh
and it
my
ended up
God.
34-24, as you can imagine. So yeah.
Yeah.
We are apparently live, by the way.
Yes, we are.
But also in more important news,
Nebraska won yesterday.
yes, they did.
Yeah, pulled it down the very last second with that field goal, so that was cool.
Field goal to win.
Yeah, I still played, so I only got to play no place like Nebraska once during the game.
Oh yeah. You didn't play at the end?
I did play at the end.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
If you let me finish.
Okay.
I played it once during the game because of the touchdown, but then they had scored 2 field goals.
Yeah.
During the game, so I was all like, fuck it, I'm still gonna play it at the end.
Play at the end.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think people appreciated it, so.
And because this is the first time that we've actually been on the show and the Chiefs are playing.
Mm-hmm. How are they doing?
The Chiefs with you cannot say he's not the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Patrick Mahomes, they are 10-10 against the Indianapolis Colts right now. So he's 16 for 26, 208 yards and a touchdown. And the Chiefs currently have the ball at second and 10 at the basically midfield with 2:20 left in the first half. So, yeah, good job there, Kansas City. Yeah, they don't have all their players are hurt. It's funny. And they're still winning. Anyways, welcome in. I'm Nathaniel, by the way. Because
I was I don't think you ever actually said your name.
I don't remember. This has been 2 or 3 times in a row now that I've said that I'm somebody else. But I'm Nathaniel. For those of you who are watching this for the very first time, hi.
How's it going?
Yes. And if you had been watching the past 4 episodes, we have been going over a debunking a video, response video, more like debunking creationist nonsense video by Dr. Tim Clary from the Institute for Creation Research here in Dallas, and really it's about 6 hours, 6.5 hours. Of video from us. So if you'd like to go and watch that, please feel free. It's the last 4 episodes we did.
Yes.
And
I
who
highly
knows?
suggest it.
Yes. Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun with those. And one of them is 2.5 hours long, I think.
Yeah.
So
you get to hear me mispronounce names of dinosaurs.
Yes.
So that's always fun.
Yes.
It's always entertaining to hear me try and say anything other than Hadrosaur and Stegosaurus.
Yes, I thought, and I did not tell her either time. I was like, "Here's a link to this, just so you know, the link
So
is
you have it.
the link is in there." And then I did not tell her either time that we're actually gonna give the names of the dinosaurs. But you did a very good job.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
If you have the opportunity to go, and you have 6.5 hours to spare, like if you're driving across Texas or something, you still have 6 more hours at that point, I think. Feel free to listen to those. They were a lot of fun to put together and to really kind of take that down. And that was only an hour video.
Yes.
That is sometimes how important it is to do the research and get into it. Obviously, parts of the videos we were involved didn't always, we talked a little bit about some other stuff that was going on, but pretty much all of the videos were about what Tim Clary was doing.
Yeah, this particular lecture that apparently I didn't realize until the very last bit of the last episode that it was being done via like Google Hangouts or something.
Yes, it was.
Did not realize
you could
that.
hear people like dinging in and out of it.
Yeah, that was annoying.
So, yeah,
it was annoying as shit.
And I hope that all of you enjoyed that. We actually didn't have any comments on any of those videos, and also we had no downvotes.
Well, that's always good.
Yes, so that means really a lot of things. One, not very many people watched it. I don't think any younger creationists watched our videos. Which, that's okay. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think that they would have much to say because
I don't know. Yeah.
the way that Dr. Clary comes off in the whole thing is he comes off, obviously very confident in his knowledge of all of this because he is very confident in all of his knowledge in all of this. He should be, but I feel like what we were saying, more specifically what you were saying, in your actual debunking of everything was a lot more technical.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because all of it is very technical.
I think it's important to be able to know that it is that technical.
Right.
So, thank you for those of you that stuck through those videos and watched them. Inquisitive Condry and Talking Snake, always good to see you folks again as well. Here's hoping that other folks are able to make it. Important note here as well. Well, a couple of things upcoming. We're not going to be broadcasting on Wednesday. There'll be no show on Wednesday.
Correct.
I have a debate up at Rogers State University in Claremore, Oklahoma on Thursday, and that is at 6:30,
yes.
I believe. Yep. And so that'll be a couple of hours long, and so we're going to be doing that on Thursday, hoping to be able to possibly live stream from that, but it may be a live stream like from a cell phone or from like a different camera or something like that, or
that one.
Maybe able to just like live stream with a computer.
Oh, maybe.
Or even just like record it.
Yeah.
And then put it onto our channel after the fact.
Oh yeah. I think we can.
Oh, offensive pass interference declined. Well, Kansas City's about to punt with 1:55 left. Oh well. Anyways.
This is only the first half.
Yeah, it's in the first half. Yeah. And then next Sunday, we're going to have Neil, the 604 Atheist, is going to be on with us. So that's going to be great. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to have Nervardia from Australia on as well. We're very excited to have Neil back. He was actually our first guest.
Yes.
And this time he's actually going to be on video. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I remember his comment. Wait, am I not already? On there last time we did this. So that's very exciting. And then have Nervardia on as well. It's going to be, by the way, here's something really cool. So for us, that's like what for her to come on in 2 weeks, today's the 6th.
It'd be the 20th.
The 20th. It's actually the 21st for her.
Right.
Like
so she'll be talking from the future.
Yeah, like 11:30 in the morning. And over there, it's Labor Day. On the 21st.
Oh.
Yeah, Monday morning Labor Day.
They have different Labor Day than we do.
Yes. Yeah. The good news is that they have the Labor Day at all.
Yeah, that's good.
So today is we're getting back into some of the things that we have done before that we know that you guys like to listen to a lot, which is why, of course, you come here and listen to it at all.
Exactly.
And that is, of course, the news. And there's not, believe it or not, I think people are like saving their bullshittery for the war on Christmas.
Yeah, they're fuckery.
Because there's not a lot.
No, there really wasn't.
No, and I went and I scoured the interwebs. I went back to those websites. God damn it! And
Fox News and Christian headlines.
yeah, you guys are making me go to Fox News and whatnot. Do you think that I want to go to those websites? Really? Just so I can see, I can look at Lindsey Graham's big mug on the front page of Fox News today. That literally is what it was, by the way.
Oh dear.
It was Fox. It was him and I think Donald Trump, and they were talking about, I don't know, Joe Biden probably. You know,
yeah.
It's like, should we investigate the Bidens? And I'm like, maybe we should investigate the president.
You'd
and
think.
like the current one.
Yeah.
You know, the one that's currently president.
Yeah, the one that they're doing the impeachment vote.
Yeah, the one, yeah. Maybe Fox News. You should stop trying to like help the president deflect. Anyways, by the way, Dish Network caved in or whatever, and he got Fox back.
Oh,
so that
bummer.
means that all the seniors that have Fox.
I know we were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, darn it.
Oh.
I wanted to know what they were doing.
Boo.
But today we have some news, and it's kind of like how we're actually going to do this. I when we were looking through these earlier, and I was sending these things back and forth, some links and stuff like that. There's so much with Robert Jeffress.
Yeah, that's why this episode is titled The Robert Jeffress Show.
Yes, and we know that he's never going to watch it. And
I did
we know,
tag him in the tweet though.
Yes, he definitely is.
Yeah.
And by the way, I didn't check and see, by the way, if I have been blocked by ICR yet. I need to check and see.
Oh yeah.
I need
That
to.
would be
This is
awesome.
actually really important for me to look up and see. Let's see here. ICR. No, I'm not blocked.
yet.
Gosh.
That's a
Come
bummer.
on.
What do you
messed up.
What do you have to do in order to get blocked by ICR?
I don't know. I
wonder?
feel like I tweet them enough. Archaeological evidence for Prophet Isaiah. Look, I'm gonna say this again. People existing is a thing.
Yes.
Okay, places existing is a thing. That's like this is the Spider-Man fallacy. Mm-hmm. Because a person and a place exist, does that mean that all the supernatural bullshit exists as well?
No.
Just because New York exists, right?
Does not mean that the Avengers movie happened.
Yeah, and that Tom Holland apparently lives there, right? That is, and so this is on ICR and stuff, and they got Days of Praise or whatever. Antimatter sounds like science fiction, but it's real. Well, that's the first thing they've actually said. That's true. Huge graveyards of fossilized plants and animals are found all over the world in water-deposited sandstone, limestone, and shale rocks. What does this mean?
Fossil.
That they're fossils, and that floods happen, and that really you will of course find it in sandstone, limestone, and shale, because those are sedimentary rocks.
Yeah.
And limestone is simply left over from the seabed from like shelled creatures.
So it's the circumstances that are most conducive to actually forming fossils, right?
Yes. Do you mean that you're gonna find, because limestone is from water?
Yes.
So you don't have to say water deposited limestone.
That's why you talk about lime scale.
Yeah,
with
it's
water.
just what it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's where you find it. And what does this mean? It means that floods have happened. It means that maybe the river overflowed and it killed some things and they got buried.
But it's not evidence of a worldwide flood.
Because you would see more than dinosaurs.
Yes.
Right? And I'm guessing it says fossilized plants and animals are found all over the world in water-deposited sandstone and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. That just means that floods have happened before.
They're so purposefully misleading.
Yeah.
Like they're just.
It's a photo, by the way. It's a photo of a person pointing to some. I can't even tell what kind of rock it is because I feel like it's because it's pretty good representation. It looks like sandstone, and he's just pointing to it. This is a rock. And I think he's pointing to the seam, obviously, but it's like, why is this here? Well, it's cropped and everything. So I don't know.
Strategically.
Yeah.
Cropped.
So that's what ICR was doing today. Darwin's abominable mystery and the Genesis flood. Well, here's some things that don't have in common.
Yeah.
The Bible offers a solution to this newly identified spike in volcanism and rifting. I'm certain it does not.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Yeah. God's design in the universe is always on display. Well, okay. That's a cool claim to make. In many respects, science is the religion of our day. What should be our response? Well, I mean, to be fair, science should always be pushing us forward.
Yeah.
Religion, I don't know if one would call it that. I don't think I would call it a religion.
No.
People don't worship science. Far
There's
as I
no
know.
dogma to science.
Right. Well, kinda.
I mean,
There's a
not
process.
in the strictest sense.
There's a scientific process, obviously, when it comes to it, but it's certainly not a religion.
No.
But science should be the foundation of our forward progress,
Yes.
and it is, by the way, when it comes to things that are, testable and repeatable, falsifiable, that kind of thing, to move us forward technologically. Then, of course, we actually have morality being the base of actual society. So, but what's our response to science? Keep sciencing?
Yeah. So, like, get down with your bad self? You would hope so, anyway.
Oh, something from Amazon Go?
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go. Creationists give the creator, not time and chance, credit and praise for designing spiders and their incredible silk production. So, by the way, it's the amazing design of Black Widow web silk. If you've ever seen a Black Widow web, by the way, it is very convoluted. Did you know that you can give spiders like you can give them acid?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? And
they do crazy designs.
Fucks with their
stuff.
webs. Yeah, it's like Charlotte's Web on acid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. This is fun. Ages for the ice cores are usually tied to ages for uniformitarian and scientists assigned to deep seafloor sediments. Why is it significant? Well, they bounce off each other and they falsify one another if they could, but they don't. They go back and forth. Mm-hmm. That's just the thing. So, and I've been having a good time talking with a guy that thinks the Second Amendment is being infringed because we can't have tanks.
Oh.
And he said that we should have. And he said it'd be now. And he was trying to make jokes the whole time as if it's not something that's actually very serious. He said, parking would suck or whatever. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, it really wouldn't. I would just shoot your tank. Now it's my parking spot over your the husk of your old tank. Yeah. And like predator drones and all this stuff. He thinks we should have warships. If we can afford them, we should have them.
Of course.
And he thinks that any type of we shouldn't do that because it's probably bad for society overall is an infringement, right? And then I was like, well, at least you stuck to that. Nukes and everything, by the way. And what's funny is he started to kind of say, well, I don't know about nukes. And I was like, well, the government has them. And a plain reading of the Second Amendment, if you read the Federalist Papers or anything that James Madison wrote about them, it's to be not just that we should have them, but rather that the government should give them to us. So it doesn't matter if they are expensive, but the government should provide them to us. Seriously, read the Federalist Papers. And so it's kind of funny that they did that. And then asked me why I like buybacks and everything, why we should how are we going to implement that? And I was like, well, you just do what Australia and Switzerland and Sweden and New Zealand and all these other countries are doing, And he's like, oh yeah, well in Australia the criminals have more rights than the victims. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's what? Yeah, and then he said that won't work. Basically, your idea is stupid. And I was like, I mean, you're the guy who thinks everybody should have tanks. So let's talk about stupid ideas.
Yeah, it's let's talk about how that would work.
And he said, I mean, facts aren't my opinion. Every country you mentioned has crime and terrorist attacks. Yes, they do. They do have crimes and terror. And he said, the only difference is Americans have the Second Amendment. Yeah, that's true. But we're also the only country with our unique problem of people fucking dying from firearms, whether it be from handgun suicide or from somebody gunning people down in the streets with AR-15s, AK-47s, things like that. We're the only one that has that. So it's maybe we should follow I'm just spitballing here, but maybe we should follow the example of other countries who have implemented something, anything at fucking all, and see if it works. Because it works everywhere else. You think it's unique here? Turns out, by the way, when we stopped owning people, slavery stopped being a thing.
I mean, here anyway.
Yeah, everywhere else too.
It still happens.
No, but everywhere that's ever said slavery bad.
Oh yeah.
It turned out that having equality was a good thing.
Right.
Every time that we've followed the separation of church and state, every time we followed Europe in that, it's ended up being something good. Every time we were oh, you know what? Maybe women aren't property. Turned out to be a good thing, and we followed other countries with that. every time we said, you know what, maybe genocide of indigenous peoples, bad, everybody turned around and was like, yeah, you can't do it either, Hitler. I don't think that's a good connection. But anyways.
Godwind.
That's what I've been, that was my, that's what I've been doing today. And I was, never mind, I'm not going to go to that one because I felt old today.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Officially old.
It's okay.
Well,
we'll be old together.
Let's you know what? I appreciate the 3 people that are in here watching live.
Yeah.
You know, or the 4 of you that are here. Thank you so much. Please, by the way, feel free to comment. We do like comments.
Yeah, we like the interaction.
We really do.
Yeah.
And the 2 or 3 of you too. Okay, very good. One of them is you.
Yes.
So the one of you that's in here, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna get through this really quick. That way you don't have to stay here very long. So that'll work. We were trying to figure out how we're actually going to go through with like which articles to put in order here. And I kind of feel, did I go to the right one? I think I did. I hope I did. Yep, that's the one. I shared it with you earlier today.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. I want to do the Baylor one first.
Baylor one. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, this one, when I was reading this one, it seems to me that this guy, so I'll give commentary on it in a second, but there's a former economics professor who used to work at Baylor who is currently suing the university, saying that they mishandled some sexual misconduct claims against him. He had resigned from the university last year because of an investigation into his relationship with a student.
Yeah.
He acknowledged having this sexual relationship with a student who was an undergraduate, but he's claiming that the actual investigation itself was way over the top and just way mishandled and everything. And he genuinely thinks that it's because it was a reaction to the way that Baylor handled a lot of the rape claims and sexual assault claims that were happening as a result of their football team. Like they're pretty much the entirety of their athletic program. Right?
Yeah, the athletic program.
Yeah.
And the cover-ups and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So the lawsuit states, as part of its quest for redemption, Baylor enacted a university-wide culture of anti-male bias and intimidation inconsistent with its stated Christian principles that ensnared plaintiff, besmirched his character, and destroyed his career. So the lawsuit does talk about what the student is claiming.
Yeah.
So he's claiming that the relationship was completely consensual. That everything was, I guess, quote unquote, above board or whatever.
Yeah, that's not the point, but go ahead.
But according to court documents, the professor and the student went on 3 dates and, quote, engaged in one consensual sexual encounter between November 2017 and January 2018. The professor was all like, yo, I'm looking for a long-term partner to be married to, so they supposedly ended their relationship. But they resumed their relationship the following April and apparently took a vacation to Utah together. That seems a little quick, but, whatever.
I want to know where they went in Utah.
I don't know.
Such a nice place. Utah is a great place to go, by the way.
For hiking and stuff.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, for anything else, no.
Yeah, everything else not so
Don't
much.
go there. If we had anybody that actually watched this show and was from Utah, that we might get an angry comment.
They'd be
but
like,
that's
"Rawr."
not a problem.
Yeah.
So
So during the vacation, this professor supposedly ended the relationship after he caught the student lying to him. So the student stayed with the professor for a few days until her new lease began. And then in early June, he was finally like, yo, I'm done. So after the relationship ended, the student contacted Baylor's Title IX office, and they're the ones that actually handled the sexual assault complaints. So the professor claims that the student made false allegations about their relationship, and the Title IX coordinator encouraged her to file an official complaint. So the professor is still holding firm that university officials showed an anti-male bias before and during the investigation, which I would just sort of like to say, if you are so used to being in power, equality looks like oppression.
It does.
I'm just saying. So he actually stated a specific occurrence of when the professor's supervisor encouraged him to remove a Baylor flag that was covering the glass window on his office door because he was all like, hey, yo, you kind of want to protect yourself from any, potential whatever. But honestly, I think I think the supervisor was probably saying that more for the safety of the students, not for the sake of the professor.
Yeah.
Because if I had to go into a professor's office and they had I love
there's a fucking ad on the screen.
Right. And they had
Stupid Dallas Observer. You suck.
And they had something covering the only way to see into the office, and they closed the door, I would not be okay with that.
I hit the ad.
Why did you?
God damn it, Red Dead Redemption 2. Go away. Now it won't go away. See? This is a problem. This is the problem in today's society, right there. That's the problem.
We live in a society.
I got ads. Go ahead, babe. Sorry. Now that I'm sufficiently pissed off at. See, you can see it in the video. Now I can see now why nobody watches our show. Look, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this?
Anyway.
Yeah. God dang it. Oh well.
So the same complaint talking about the warning about his office alleges that female faculty members weren't given similar warnings, but I mean, we don't have any proof of that, so I don't know. Anyway, the lawsuit also mentions a campaign launched in 2014 by the White House Office on Women and Girls called It's On Us, which seeks to reduce sexual assault on college campuses by enlisting the help of young men to change campus culture. Among other things, the lawsuit takes issue with a tweet posted on the Baylor chapter's website that states, "Rape is caused by misogyny, not women's clothing." I mean, so that's obvious misandry. That's such obvious misandry. Tell me more about how you poor downtrodden professor taking advantage of a student.
Yeah.
And this is, I guess, another thing that bothers me about this is the fact that student-teacher relationships never end well. Or very seldom end well. And the instances of student-teacher relationships actually ending in, successfully or being successful are outliers. They're the exception, not the rule. And that's because there is a blatant power imbalance.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Because the student often feels pressured, and the professor has the ability to use that power and use that influence to manipulate the student.
Yeah. And let me just get to the core of my point of this. It's Baylor. It is none of the other shit matters.
Yeah.
In this, it does, but let me just explain again. It's Baylor University. You are a private Christian school. Okay? If you fuck anybody, you can
get kicked out.
Yes, just like they do at BYU.
Yeah, that's part of their whole thing.
Yeah.
That's part of a student code of conduct.
So this thing right here, where he is fucking his student, is now. Was it actually one of his students, or was it just an undergrad? Okay. Okay. There's so many levels of where that's not okay. But now, let me just say, it's Baylor University. Whether or not you think that they have an agenda to show we're not going to put up with any of this because of the shit that they obviously put up with for years, it doesn't matter. Because if you as a professor have a relationship out of marriage, especially one that is sexual, they're going to terminate you.
Yeah.
And so your lawsuit is frivolous as fuck, and I hope that it gets just... Yeah. It is.
Yeah, no, agreed. they're making a lot of efforts in this lawsuit to victim blame and discredit the student.
Which of course they are.
Yeah.
Even though the student is literally, and I'm not going to call the student a victim here because if it was a consensual relationship, we don't know how old the professor is either.
No.
Right? Yeah, because it could have been it was maybe the student is in their mid-20s.
Yeah, like they say that she's an undergraduate, but I'm an undergraduate because I don't have a degree.
Exactly.
And I'm 32.
And if it is a consensual relationship, regardless, but still, like, no matter what you do, she's not to blame for any of this.
Yeah.
At all.
He was the one who let it go too far.
Yeah.
He is the one responsible. When you are the one who is in a position of power, and this goes for, student teacher stuff, it goes for, employee boss stuff, whatever that sort of power imbalance is.
Yep.
Like, there are consequences.
There are
blatant, like obvious consequences, and even what really got me about this, I don't know how far you got in this, but that there was one case in one instance, there was some inconsistencies in her story, but I think that's just due to memory. The human brain is not perfect, so we're not going to remember everything perfectly. Excuse me. Oh my god, I'm sorry. So she said, it says in this article, and this article comes from the Dallas Observer, the student told investigators she bought Plan B on May 7th after an unprotected and non-consensual sexual encounter with the professor.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah, you're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done.
Well, I mean, it's Baylor, so probably not.
Oh, yeah, well.
But the article says bank transaction records show the student actually bought the pill a week earlier. But, she was like, how am I going to remember exactly when I bought this?
Yeah, well, even more than that, it could have been that she was going to have sex with him, but then decided not to.
Yeah.
And at any point, she could do that. But regardless, at the end of the day, it comes down to this lawsuit, which he is trying to say is bullshit, which is obviously not. Or which he's trying to say that he was terminated, his contract was terminated, was obvious horseshit. But it's not.
Right.
He was fired with cause. Mm-hmm. You were let go with cause from Baylor University, which, sure, recent track record, not great.
No, and even then, Texas is an at-will employment state. As long as it's not a protected class, they can fire you at any point for any reason that's not like a federally protected thing.
Yep.
They can fire you because you're wearing the wrong shade of green, and Baylor probably would. They can fire you for wearing Vans instead of Converse. They can fire you for being bald. Sorry, honey.
Well, I wouldn't work there anyways, but okay.
They can fire you for anything that's not a federally protected class.
Sure, and that makes sense. But at the same time, they fired him. They terminated his contract for a reason.
Yes.
Which I can see the reason, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And this is a frivolous lawsuit, and I hope that it gets tossed out.
Yes.
Which I'm certain it will.
Yeah.
So good for him, or good for Baylor to actually do something right for once.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's bullshit, and the whole wah they're discriminating against me because I'm a man is disgusting.
That it is. But you know what's not disgusting?
What?
Halloween.
Halloween's awesome.
You know what's not awesome?
Putting tracts into Halloween merchandise at Spirit Halloween stores.
That is correct, and this is up in Idaho, I think, is the place. He's a preacher. And by the way, this guy, his name is, and this comes from Hamet Mehta, the Friendly Atheist, if you can see it on the screen there. It says, for a couple of years, self-proclaimed pastor David Grisham Jr., and he's up there, I think he's up in, where is he at?
I can't tell. I can't. I don't know, but I actually had seen this. So a couple of the Facebook groups I'm part of are like specifically atheism related, and I saw this post floating around Facebook, and everyone's all like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yep.
So this guy.
Yeah. By the way, he's a guy that a couple of years ago, if you saw on the screen there, kind of going through the article there, trying to figure out where he's from, and apparently he's done stuff in Texas. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he went to the mall here in Texas and walked in, and this is on video. Have you seen the video when he walks in to all the kids waiting to see Santa Claus, and he's like, "Santa Claus isn't fucking." That's not what he says.
Well,
But he does say Santa Claus isn't real. Repent, Jesus good, all that stuff, right? And all the parents are like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah.
They're trying to be with their kids, you whack job.
Yeah.
And he did that more than once. And then he also and told them that Jesus Christ was the real reason for the season. Now, I'm certain, by the way, that all of the children that are going there are obviously worshiping Santa Claus and have no idea that Christmas is at least in this sense is about Jesus. I'm certain they've never fucking heard that before.
Oh, of course not, because that doesn't, permeate every single bit of our culture.
But this one is, I don't know actually if this kind of breaks the law. Because I don't know.
I think it technically does.
Yeah, because here's what he's doing. He's telling people to go to Spirit Halloween. By the way, if you don't go to Spirit Halloween and see the stuff they have, it's pretty cool. I recommend it.
Yeah.
Let's see if
I got my Jedi robe from a Spirit Halloween
Nice.
store. Yeah.
You can see here, this is what he says. He says, "Well, saints." Now, let me be honest here. I don't know if he's talking to people or to the football team because he capitalizes saints. It's that time of year again when we have to go preach to lukewarm Christians who participate in pagan celebrations like Halloween.
I've got the full thing up right here.
Oh, wow, there's even more of it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Let me what do we got?
Yeah, well, because it gets into, like, the what to do.
Oh, I thought that was right here, too. I thought I actually saw the full thing.
It's not the whole thing.
It doesn't say, like, go in with certain people and, like, go with the crowd and whatnot? Oh, okay. Yeah. So let me see.
Once you get to in your city,
yeah,
then it goes into the lists that.
Okay. Okay, cool. So it says, who participate in pagan celebrations like Halloween or Easter, I imagine.
Or Christmas.
Yeah. Again, this year, our ministry will go into these stores. So it means it's done it again, by the way. It says again.
Yes.
Undercover and put gospel tracts inside costume bags, decoration boxes, etc. My apologies. We have been doing this for years now. This is, if it's illegal, he's admitting to committing crimes.
Yes, he
is. For
is.
years.
Yes, he is.
Here are some helpful tips if you want to do this in your city. Number 1, do not go inside wearing Christian clothing.
Be sneaky about this.
And you know what? This is the thing. Like, don't worry about proclaiming the gospel to the masses and shit.
Yeah.
Right. And him puts this in the list too. Do not do this undercover as to not draw attention to yourselves. Number 2, do not put your church information on the tracts. Excuse me. This will get you nasty phone calls and emails if you do. Do not hang out as a group outside while doing this. If you go in a group, split up while inside, as to not to be as noticeable, and you can cover more area and be quicker. Spend no more than 30 minutes inside each store. Remember, you can go back and do it again several times for Halloween. This helps keep a low profile. Number 5, if you have a large enough group, you can assign one person to keep an eye on the store employees if they get suspicious. I almost said suspicion. You can distract them with a question about their products or pricing.
Get somebody to be a lookout.
Yeah. Have this person communicate with the other team members by text message. Being on your phone is not at all suspicious in today's culture. If you get caught, just leave peacefully and immediately and lie.
Yeah.
Do not reveal what you've been doing and enjoy yourself. This is really fun to do.
It's so annoying because they don't realize.
I appreciate the ad, by the way, that's on this page.
Yeah.
You can get a Bible.
This, to me, is the same sort of thing as leaving a specific sort of Bible tract in place of a tip at a restaurant for a waiter. it's the same fucking thing. It is just as unwelcome as leaving something that looks like a $20 bill, but is actually like a Bible tract.
Oh, we're getting into that in a second. We're getting into that in a second from somebody else.
Oh, that...
Yeah, that one. No, it's on a different page. It's on a different web page. I'll bring it up. It's somebody else. Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was in there.
No, it's on a different site. It's the next one we're going to bring up in a second. But, so what he's telling them to do...
Oh, yeah.
What he's telling them to do is to go in... and I don't know, because it's like opening the product and putting your stuff inside of it. Right? I don't know if that is like... a violation of the law.
So I genuinely don't know, because I think a lot of the costumes, they're designed in such a package that you can like open it up and try it on and everything. So I don't think it's against the law. Like, I don't think it actually is. But
Okay.
It's annoying as shit.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want it in my... when I go to buy my Halloween stuff, when I'm buying it for the kids... I don't want it.
Yeah.
Also, most people that do this, like, they're already Christians. They don't need your fucking tracts.
Yeah.
Like, most people that celebrate Christmas with Halloween are Christians. You know how I know that? Because most people in this fucking country are Christians.
Yeah, and they have like trunk or treats at fucking churches and stuff.
Yeah, they do. And the other website that we're gonna bring up, by the way, it talks about how, like, what they dress as, and it's really funny what they say. But this is like, and it also, don't let them know what you've been doing, right? And I'm just sitting here going, I realize that you don't believe in Santa Claus, but he knows if you've been bad or good.
So be good for goodness sake.
You know, just be good because you're a good person.
Well, it's like they're ashamed of it.
But also be good because if you're not, you won't get, you'll have a punishment, because there's an all omniscient or whatever being that looks down on you all year long.
Called Santa.
Yep. Wow. Never mind. Santa is basically Jesus. But yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Grisham is doing it again and again and again. I can tell, I've never received anything I've never like picked up, I haven't dressed up for Halloween in, I don't know, a couple of years, but did we do anything last year? No, I was out knocking on people's doors on Halloween, getting them to go vote for Beto last year.
Yeah, I don't know what I did for Halloween last
What are you dressed as? A Senate hopeful?
A concerned citizen.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm wearing the Beto shirt.
Yeah, you are.
I like this shirt.
I'm wearing the black non-believer shirt today.
Yeah.
I think they had a
Women of Color Beyond Belief.
This weekend, right?
Yeah. It was in Chicago.
Yeah, up in Chicago. It was really awesome up there. So, but yeah, this is crazy. But it's not the only thing that they do, obviously. And by the way, if you're watching this, we get about 50 views per show.
Thereabouts, yeah.
If you're one of the 50 people on average who watch this show and you're a Christian, please don't go do this. Nobody wants this. It does not make anybody become a Christian.
This is literally shoving this down people's throats unwillingly.
Yeah.
And it's unwelcome and it's rude.
Yeah.
And I know you don't care a lot of times. You don't really care about being rude and like interrupting dinner and, you know, if somebody's at home sick and knocking on their door and making their dogs go crazy and interrupting their nap or something. But stop doing it.
Yeah. Now, he's not the only person, though.
Are we talking about
that
good old Kenny boy?
Yes.
Sorry.
It's fine. Ken Ham, as she stated, is also doing it. I could have let in better. It's my bad.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll do better next time. Ken Ham wrote about it on his blog, which, as you can see, prepare to share the gospel this Halloween with fun tracts. Ugh. Good old Kenny Ham. This, by the way, was posted 2 days ago on the AIG website. So you can see it's got the 1-1 on there. I wonder if he knows that it's a ratio of 1 to 1. I don't know. Anyways, and I appreciate this right here. You got the witch and everything. I appreciate the header on this website.
Yeah.
Because it's like bats and witches and stuff like that. Here's what he says. Here's what Mr. Ham says. Says each year, millions of humans, kids in America hit the streets dressed. By the way,
I mean, that's still accurate.
America is not the only place that Halloween. Anyways, hit the streets dressed as a princess, superheroes, or their favorite character. And I'm like, he just purposefully got around everything else.
Yeah, because princesses and superheroes aren't characters, apparently.
And many will come knocking on your door looking for treats. But have you considered using this opportunity to share the hope of the gospel with your neighbors and not just hand out candy and other treats? He goes on, one way you can make this once-a-year opportunity, or make the most of this once-a-year opportunity, is by giving gospel tracts to children and or their parents, along with candy and treats.
At least he's saying do
I
both.
appreciate him saying do both.
Yeah.
Yes. On our online store, we offer a variety of options, including this.
The $1 million bill
It's
tract.
a fake $1 million bill.
It's so shitty. Featuring the Ark or dinosaurs.
Yep.
I kind of
Kids,
want the dinosaur one, not gonna lie to you.
the dinosaur was pretty fucking legit, man.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It is like 3D-ish. Says kids love these. And it's a fun way to share the gospel, something worth far more than $1 million.
Oh, look, it's his son-in-law. If you scroll down
Oh, no, I
a
know.
little bit.
I'm going to that. Yep, I'm getting down there. Like to point out, kids don't love these.
No, they don't.
Kids love candy for Halloween.
Yes.
That's what they love. They
Their
don't love
parents
these.
don't love these either because
Nope.
then they just have to throw them
Yeah,
away.
yeah, now you're just wasting shit. By the way, this is a shill opportunity for him because you
yeah.
actually have to buy these.
Yeah, they don't give them out for
You can't
free.
just print them out. And it says, and we offer extra discount on most of our evangelistic booklets where you order 10 or more. Prepare to minister to the children and families of your neighborhood on Halloween night with some of our best evangelistic tracts. Jesus Christ, he said it twice. Booklets and outreach packs from our online store. So here you go, right here. Halloween, Paganism and the Bible. A biblical and historical look at Halloween. I'm going to be honest with you. It's one of those things that's also not mentioned in the Bible.
Right.
Turns out, Halloween, not mentioned. Now, witches? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
yeah.
believe in witches. They think witches are real. You know that, right?
Yes.
Like, they think witches
Oh, I
are...
know.
Like,
I know.
witches, like, in the Bible.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
And goblins.
Yeah.
Real. They are 100% on that.
I mean, of course.
Yep. Okay.
Wait, they're not real?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh.
But there's $1 million things. It's, by the way, that one is called the Halloween Learn and Share Kit. This is just our way to make money. During this Halloween season, we're also offering a special sale on 2 of our world religions and cult DVDs. And yes, as you mentioned, if you scroll down through this, Satanism. Right here, it's Bodhi Hodge.
It's his son-in-law.
My
Because he
favorite-
has a son-in-law named Bodhi.
Yes, which is kind of funny because of the boat.
Boat.
Yeah. This, by the way, is called Eastern. What does it say on there? Eastern something.
Oh, I was looking at the tracks.
I think it says Eastern, Western, and humanistic religions.
Yes! Yes, that is what it says.
Humanism, not a
Witchcraft
religion.
and paganism.
Yeah, humanism, not a religion.
It is not.
It is not a religion. But so atheists, by the way, I love how this ends. Atheists can become very upset when we encourage people to obtain these evangelistic resources to give to their children, to teach them the truth of God's word and the gospel. But atheists only get mad because it is a spiritual issue. No, that's not. We think that, by the way, we understand this is your way to try to make money, that you're doing that you're
Yeah.
telling people to give children. Now, I do appreciate that you're saying also give them candy. You're better than that Grisham guy.
Right.
Which, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what Grisham does when a kid knocks on his door. He's probably got that house, though, that no kids go to.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt if he had one of those, like, hell houses like churches do.
Oh,
for
God.
Halloween.
Because those obviously work.
I would like to point out that the 2-pack of Witchcraft and Paganism and Satanism is $15.99. It's currently on sale in the
Is
Answers
it?
in Genesis
Oh.
bookstore.
She went to the actual books. I didn't go to the store when I was looking at this earlier. Very good. Thank you.
Let's see, World Religions and Cults. Is it the same thing?
Yeah.
No, the World Religions Conference 17 DVD set is $149, but if you did do a digital download, it's $113.99.
No.
Yes,
Let me just go ahead and say no to that real quick, by the way.
it really is. And then there are 2-packs. They're evangelistic books.
Marcia Montenegro, a believer who was formerly caught up in witchcraft.
The Halloween Outreach Pack has 50 booklets to give along with candy, which includes the Fall of Satan book, Halloween Paganism in the Bible, Satan and the Serpent Pocket Guide, and a biblical and historical look at Halloween. That is $29, down from $71.47.
Ah.
And the Halloween Learn and Share kit, which is Halloween Paganism in the Bible and DVD, 5 Halloween booklets, 100 Dino Bucks, because of course they would be called Dino Bucks.
Do you like Dino Bucks?
And 100 Noah's Ark gospel tracks at $17.99.
Wow.
This is such a money grab.
Yeah, of course
such
it is.
a cash grab.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like this is all it's about for him. It's not about spreading the good news of Jesus and blah blah blah. That's not what this is about for Ken Ham.
Nope.
It's about what he can sell and how much he can sell it for and how many gullible people are going to buy it.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
so
it's aggravating.
And again, I'm going to point out that it's not that atheists are upset because it's a spiritual issue. We just don't want you giving our kids bullshit, okay?
Yeah.
Just give them candy, and tell them they're going to hell or whatever. All right, that's fine, as long as you give them candy. So thanks. We just don't want that shit.
Yeah. At least you can use the tracts as like Tinder.
Yeah, apparently,
Yeah.
hopefully, they're Intel crispy served with garlic and chili sauce. It says Orla. I'm pretty certain talking about
Being burned to the stake.
yeah, witches and whatnot.
Yeah.
But and as Maya Atkinson says, welcome in Maya, by the way, says we all know he doesn't give a shit about the Bible. That's true. Accurate statement. But let's, you know what? Speaking of you know, since it's like the Halloween season and stuff like that.
Yes.
Do you know that there is a person out there that thinks that Hillary Clinton is a Satanist and she is a literal Satan worshiper, and that she drinks blood to sustain her life force?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yep. That person, by the way, is none other than Rick Wiles. And again, this comes from The Friendly Atheist. Rick Wiles says this: Hillary Clinton looks good because she's, quote, drinking a lot of blood. This comes, and by the way, and Hemet Mehta, it is Hemet, right, that wrote this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got this from the Right Wing Watch. But I think we can get like a little listen here to see, because he actually says this. Listen to what he says. This is great.
Physically, she's looking much better. She must be drinking a lot of blood.
On the vampirism side.
Yeah. I mean, because she's definitely getting transfusions because she's stronger. Yeah, she was pretty weak back there in 2016. That woman was falling apart. But they've obviously been taking her to a lot of spirit cooking events, and she's been revived.
Okay. Transfusions and drinking blood are not the same thing.
Nope, they're not.
I think my favorite vampire, Spike, would say that was a different thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yep. Yeah.
Spike is the best vampire.
But the
Fuck
cooking
Angel.
thing obviously is preparing her for, like, you know, the preparing for her to like drink blood and stuff like that. Thinks that she's a vampire and that she is drinking blood, where she is basically sustaining her life force and making herself basically immortal because and as I have ascertained, I don't think that's true. I'm pretty certain that Hillary Clinton is not drinking any blood.
No, yeah, it's I have a sneaking suspicion that she's not. Rick Wiles is like
He's a
fruit bat crackers
crazy
nuts.
motherfucker. But you
Yeah.
can see he's on. I love what's in the background, by the way.
True news.
True news. If there's anything in the world that is like, you know, this shit is not true, it's when it's written behind them in big ass white all caps.
Yep.
Whatever is written behind me in all big ass white caps, right? Whatever it is, at that point, it's probably the KKK with white caps.
Yeah.
Whatever's written back here, like sexiest man alive, it's not true.
That one's true for you.
Oh, well, never mind. I guess we're gonna go with that one. But it's generally
It's not true for him. It's true for you.
Generally not true.
Yeah.
Make something intangible into a stew. No, I do not. But I tell you what, Orla, if you could let us know what it's like to do that, that is like, there's no way that what he's saying is true.
No. 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 No.
I do. It's kind of like the One American News Network. And I'm like, okay, first off, One American News? What does that even mean? But also, you're not the only one.
Right.
Like, there's just some ways that you know that you're just not telling the truth. Also, if you're Rick Wiles, you're not telling the truth.
Yeah, if his mouth is open and it's moving, then it's not telling the truth.
Yeah, just like the president. I'm certain the president went off on Twitter again today. Apparently, he was back at his golf course for like the 3 millionth fucking time.
Of course he was.
Yeah. So, but thank you very much, Rick Wiles, for being a
terrifying douchebag.
Yes. But do you know
people listen to this shit? Like, people take that seriously.
Yeah. I was talking about that earlier today, that this is, and we're going to get into this with Robert Jeffress here in a little bit, but that, by the way, is part of Cult 45. Mm-hmm. They cannot believe anything else.
There is zero critical thinking.
No.
None. And there's zero skepticism. And they refuse to actually think about, like, hey, what if this isn't true? Like, what are the alternatives to this? And blah, blah, blah. They refuse to do it.
So they are not at all skeptical about Donald Trump and anything he says. Mm-hmm. They're not at all skeptical about the claims in the Bible, which I'm going, cannot wait for that on Thursday. They're not at all skeptical about the Rick Wiles. Mm-hmm. They're not at all skeptical about Sebastian Gorka and Stephen Miller, who some demon just got their wings. I just said his name.
Isn't Stephen Miller like my age?
He's in his early 30s. He's younger than I am.
He's like 32, and he looks like he's like 45.
And do you know what these people are skeptical of, though?
Climate change.
Climate change.
Yeah.
This comes from Fox News. And this, by the way, was September 23rd. But again, the past 4 episodes, we have been on a news hiatus. So there's actually some of this I appreciate that.
So I feel like I've probably mentioned this before. I have a Chrome extension called Make America Kittens Again. And I have a specific list of people that it will change. Like, it will substitute the photos of the people with photos of kittens. And Trump's on there, obviously. Robert Jeffress is on there. I'm pretty sure Jerry Falwell Jr. is on there as well.
Nice.
I know Pence is on there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like this list.
Very nice. And I just saw it happen on your screen too, and I couldn't help
but
chuckle. It says, pastors, who again, remember, are not skeptical of anything. They praise Donald Trump for skipping the United Nations panel on what they call the imaginary climate crisis for, quote, real problem of religious persecution. Okay. I'm not even going to read much of this article, right? But let me just say this. There is a problem overseas, and we're going to get this part, like, partially in China, with actual religious persecution.
Yeah, it's an actual thing.
That is a real thing. Guess what? So is fucking climate change.
Yeah.
They are both.
The religious persecution for Christians isn't a problem here.
No, not even a little bit in the United States. No, not even in the fucking slightest.
Right.
Like, there is 0% persecution for Christians in the United States.
Yep.
I am certain of that number.
Yes.
Like, none. Trust me, I've read the articles. Christians aren't persecuted in this country.
Correct.
We do say in this country because overseas, as far as I can tell, in everywhere except for the Western industrialized world, nobody is more persecuted than Christians, with the probable exception of ex-Muslims who live in the Middle East and LGBT people.
Right.
That's you can put all of those at one if you want to.
Yeah. Because
they all face death threats, actual death. Mm-hmm. They have to go into hiding.
Yeah.
They have to lie. All this stuff. Mm-hmm. None of that is a problem for Christians in the United States.
Exactly.
There is persecution for LGBT people here.
Oh, yeah.
We hear like almost every night, by the way.
Yeah.
And hey, Andy or Randy, yeah. And so it's important to note that there is religious persecution for Christians overseas.
Correct.
It exists.
Yeah.
As we noted already.
Yeah, that's not something we'll ever deny.
Nope. And it is awful that it happens.
Yeah.
And if there was some way that we could help, we would. But in this case, it's the thing. skipping the imaginary climate crisis. And this is
that's just
there.
gross.
There he is.
Yeah. So
Ugh.
the whole thing was that President Trump had skipped this event because there was a whole bunch of stuff going on at the UN, including a speech given by Greta Thunberg.
Oh, look, it's Robert Jeffress. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I thought you did that on purpose. That's part of the reason why I called it the Robert Jeffress Show.
I didn't realize Robert Jeffress was in this article.
Yes. So.
Yeah, you talk about Greta.
Yeah, so Greta Thunberg had given a speech, this really, really powerful speech in front of UN Summit, I think?
Yeah.
Something like that. She'd given a couple of speeches and everything during this event. And Trump skipped it. Because Trump is a giant baby.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I'm going to go to this whole, I'm going to go give a speech about, like, religious freedom and how it's, like, super important and stuff. So there were a couple of pastors that were talking to Fox, various Fox News outlets. One of them, of course, was our good buddy Robert Jeffress. He said, this is the first time any leader of a nation has addressed the UN on religious persecution. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know. It could be true, but I don't know. A third of the world is living under religious persecution, and it is a remarkable thing that this president would skip a UN climate change summit on an imaginary problem to address the very real problem of global persecution of believers.
I'd like to point out that no, he's not the first person to address religious persecution. No.
Because I feel like it's probably been addressed in different contexts.
Yeah, yes, but he might be the first president to do so.
Yeah.
But of the United States. But he's not the first person to say people are persecuted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not just talking, when we speak about religious persecution, it's not just Christians.
Correct.
Like, they have this mindset where it's just religious persecution of Christians. And it's like they are completely disregarding Jewish people and Muslims and, Buddhists and Hindu people and stuff like that. And
yep.
it's gross that they just have this very narrow purview. But anyway, so Jeffress also added, what president in history would have the guts to do what President Trump is doing? And I mean, he's really not a risk taker, guys. He's not. So there was also Tony Perkins, who was the head of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. He's the president of a conservative think tank, Family Research Council, which I feel like we've said this on this show before or on previous stuff. Mm-hmm. Every time you have the name of an organization that is either like family or liberty or freedom,
yep,
it's always conservative shit. They use these buzzwords and it's dumb. So Tony Perkins said, this is the president kind of putting down a marker, advancing religious freedom. This is a step forward with very tangible markers in terms of protecting people of faith. And what president is going to do, is challenge these nations to ensure that people, regardless of their faith, when they publicly assemble to worship God, that they don't have to do that in fear of terrorists or tyrants. Who is he talking about with the tyrants?
Well,
because I feel like he's trying to be very specific on that.
Well, it's just Muslims.
I mean, of course. I would think, yeah.
Yeah,
they have this imagined problem.
No, it's a real problem.
No, with Tony Perkins is really specifically talking about people here.
Oh, okay. I was like, no.
No, I know it's a problem for people getting shot up in churches and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like he is referring to tyrants in the sense of, like,
stuff
that Obama did and stuff like that.
No,
he
is absolutely talking about fear of terrorists or tyrants. He is talking about the people who live in the Middle East and have to and are under a theocracy.
Yeah.
He's not talking about anything here. And by the way, he did of course say he of course is minimizing climate change.
Yeah.
Right. But the idea that he has, by the way, that's saying this is the kind of this is the president kind of putting down a marker. Now, the president doesn't care about religion.
No.
He cares about religious people voting for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about religion, otherwise he would act like he cares about religion.
Right.
Right.
He would live his life in such a way that he would
Yeah.
be that example.
Yeah. And it goes on, by the way, and says that Perkins showed studies in other countries that embrace and protect religious freedom have greater social and economic stability, benefiting America in the long run. And okay, by the way, I don't care if it benefits America in the long run or not, but other countries should embrace and protect religious freedom. And this is true. You look at the Western industrialized world, and there is religious freedom in almost every single country in the Western industrialized world. And yes, you do see that. You see economic prosperity, social prosperity, all that stuff. As soon as we get these people who want a theocracy out of office, which we have been trying to do for a long fucking time, then we're going to start seeing more of that equality here, much like we do in Western Europe as well. And that's important. And then, of course, Jeffress adds this in there. He says this. He said, religious freedom is not granted by government. It is gifted to us by God, and the president believes that. The Democrats, again, this is not a Republican-Democrat issue. Democrats, over 80% of them in Congress are Christians. Now, as we will find out from Jeffress later, they are apparently not the right kind of Christian. The Democrats believe that great human right that transcends all others is the right to kill your own babies through abortion, and the previous administration supported that for the world. The president says no, it's not the murder of babies that is a basic human right, it's religious liberty that is granted by our Creator. Okay. Why you gotta bring abortion into this bullshit?
Because they're Christians and that's all they know how to do.
Yeah, we met at a protest outside his church. I want to go protest this motherfucker again.
Yeah.
Just be like, you're a bigot. I'm just outside of his church.
Yeah.
Robert Jeffress is a bigoted piece of shit.
Yeah.
You don't like what I'm saying? I don't like what your pastor is saying and what children can hear.
Accurate.
You know? So anyways.
Let's see.
By the way, and never mind, I was going to add the rest of the article, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, but it's not an imaginary climate crisis, but there are pastors, by the way, and the pastors that are doing this. Let's be important. It's important to note this. These two pastors are extreme right-wing theocratic fucking pastors, right? From like Focus on the Family or whatever it is, which is anti-LGBT, and Robert Jeffress, right? So that's the thing. This is not your regular. It's not your most. I'm going to guess that most pastors are like, climate change real. It's not imaginary.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Robert Jeffress. Yeah.
Accurate.
So.
Let's see.
I guess since we're on Robert
talk some
Jeffress.
more about Robert Jeffress.
Yeah, since we're on that, we're just gonna.
The Robert Jeffress show.
Yeah, we're not. We're gonna finish up with Robert Jeffress.
Some more about him. I think he's on the list too. Kitten.
Yeah, kitty cat. So there we go. We'll do that there. Yeah, we'll finish up with him in these two articles.
Cool. So this article is actually from about a week ago. So our good buddy Robert Jeffress, he had predicted on Fox and Friends last weekend. No, this is not this weekend, but the one before.
Why is there a PlayStation Red Dead Redemption 2? Get off my screen.
Because it's
maybe I just need to like
Dallas
let
Observer.
it. I'm gonna like let it finish, right?
I don't know.
Maybe I should do that. Let it finish its little. Just so you know, this is Red Dead Redemption 2. You can apparently you can camp there for free. 30 days early access to select conflict. The American Foxhound, also shooty guns and horses, and OK Corral, and that charismatic fella. I don't know. I wonder if I can get off the screen now. Hey, it's gone. Yay. But here's Robert Jeffress, if you hadn't heard about this yet. Go ahead.
So, Robert Jeffress had predicted on Fox and Friends last weekend, talking to Todd Starnes, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, Todd fucking Starnes.
Oh, that guy. He predicted that the impeachment process could plunge the United States into a civil war. Because that's not a wild accusation to make or anything. He was responding to a question about evangelical Christians' response to impeachment efforts in the House of Representatives, and he said Democrats are only seeking to impeach Trump because he defeated Hillary Clinton in 2016. Jeffress said, quote, "That's the unpardonable sin for which the Democrats will never forgive him. And I do want to make this prediction this morning. If the Democrats are successful in removing the president from office, I'm afraid it will cause a civil war-like fracture in this nation from which the country will never heal."
I'd like to point out, Civil War was a thing. It happened.
Yes.
Many people died.
Yes.
Yep.
Very accurate.
Actually a thing that happened.
People still think they know what it's about, but they're wrong about that. So.
And move me on that. Like, Democrats want to impeach Donald Trump because they feel as though he has violated the Constitution.
Yes.
With multiple impeachable offenses.
Yes.
Some of which he has said on live television.
Yes, he has.
And that's why. None of this, the only people that are actually talking, by the way, about Hillary Clinton are the people who attempt to justify to me why they voted for Donald Trump, which happened today. I didn't bring it up. And also people who are Donald Trump's supporters, part of the cult. Nobody else talks about Hillary Clinton.
No, they
Seriously.
really don't.
Nobody else does.
Yeah.
It's like, no, and Robert Jeffress, literally, this is like a fucking threat, man.
It basically is.
From a pastor.
Yeah.
Let's remember that. From a pastor.
So, and this whole thing gets even better, too, because Trump actually quoted Jeffress in a tweet last Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
So the statement itself and the tweets that followed drew rebukes not only from Democrats, but from some in Trump's own party. Representative Adam Kinzinger, is that how you say that?
Sure.
I think
don't
so.
know.
He's a Republican from Illinois, called the quote, "beyond repugnant." And, yeah. We're not really surprised by Jeffress saying any of this stuff anymore. I don't think either of us ever have been.
Nope.
I don't think y'all should be surprised by it either, to be completely honest with you. Because Jeffress has a tendency to make the rounds on a bunch of the conservative talk shows. He said last February that Christians who oppose Trump are spineless morons, and they cannot admit that they were wrong. That sounds more like people who still back Trump.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Spineless morons who can't admit they were wrong.
It is true, by the way, and that's the case. And you find it because I ask evangelicals why they support Donald Trump, because he is the opposite of a Christian type character.
Yeah.
He is the exact opposite, and all I get are excuses, dodges, and deflections. All I ever get.
Yeah.
It's like they have Rip Torn, and he's throwing fucking wrenches at him, and he's like duck, dip, dive, dodge, and I don't know, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
I've only seen Dodgeball once.
Horrible person. It's, dodge, duck, dip,
Wait, are
dive,
you?
and dodge.
For only seeing Dodgeball once?
Yeah, horrible. How do you keep up with the memes and the gifs of Dodgeball if you've only seen it one time? The nuance and the amazing intricacy of that film, you have to watch it more than once. Anyways. Yeah. So, yeah, he's telling, he is more than anything else, like actively, more than like saying this could happen, actively telling far-right evangelicals to prepare.
Yeah.
That's what that, and especially because the president retweeted it.
Yeah. He is basically endorsing what Jeffress is saying.
Yep.
Saying, hey, it's totally cool to think like this because, y'all should all support, getting your guns and being prepared for an actual civil war. I feel like those who would be preparing for an actual civil war probably wouldn't survive very long, though.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen you folks. I did notice today, by the way, people walking in. Americans have a weird obsession and fascination with guns.
Yes.
Like big American flag with an AK-47 outline.
Yep.
on it and stuff.
Yep.
And I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's reactionary right now.
It's scary as fuck.
Yeah, no, it's terrifying.
I am scared of those people, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with them. And I think a lot of it is very, very reactionary because they feel like they are under threat of losing what they think are basic human rights because they care more about their right to own a shooty shoot than somebody's right to get health care or, to live in general.
Yep. Now, Robert Jeffress, again, by the way, was in the news again. He says that Trump is a Christian warrior, and this is one of my favorites right here.
This is just gross.
Because you ain't the right kind of Christian. Know what I'm saying? Pastor, get over here. Oh, darn it. Stop it, you. Stop it, Newsweek. Pastor Robert Jeffress says Trump is a Christian warrior and Democrats worship...
Mayor Buttigieg, you've talked openly about your strong Christian faith as well.
Stupid. And Democrats worship pagan god Moloch, who allowed for child sacrifice. I'd like to point out, by the way, that apparently... can't make that go away, can I? No, I can. There's a close right there. That he believes this Moloch character exists. Let's point that out. The kitty cat didn't get you there.
No, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Has warned that Christians in the U.S. would be under siege if the Democrats got into power in 2020. This, by the way, this was the 2nd of this month. Says he heads 13,000 member First Baptist Church in. He's a vehement loyalist of President Donald Trump. I do not know why. Well, he is an anti-Semitic person.
Yeah.
So that does make sense. Never mind.
Yeah.
The Todd Starnes show that Trump has shown that he was a defender of Christians' interests through his opposition to abortion and support of Israel. The reason that Christians support the president is not because they are religious hypocrites or because they think he is perfect. They know he is not perfect, just like none of us are perfect. But they appreciate the strong religious stance he takes. He is without doubt the most pro-life, pro-religious liberty, pro-Israel president we have ever had, and they don't want to see this warrior removed from his place of leadership in our country. There is a fear that if the left ever regain control, this country is finished. That's not true.
No.
None of that is true.
No.
Well, there is, of course, the weird fear-based factor in this, but this pastor, Trump is not the most pro-life president.
No.
He's very pro-choice.
Yeah.
Pro-religious liberty? No, he's not. He's not. He wants to ban Muslims from coming here.
He is pro-Christians voting for him.
White Christians.
Yeah.
Look at my African American over there. Isn't exactly being,
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Pro-Israel. I don't know that he can find Israel on a map.
Probably not.
Right.
But weren't they... Who was it that they were naming a neighborhood?
Yeah, it's over in
was
fucking...
Was it Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that
Netanyahu was
month
doing
ago.
that. Yep.
Yeah, a month or two ago.
Netanyahu, by the way, basically didn't get reelected. I don't know. They're figuring that shit out.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to have to do it again. But Democrats were trying to impeach Trump, as you said, because they couldn't beat him in the ballot box. He also mocked House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for her call on Saturday for a prayerful approach to the process. And this is what this motherfucker said. I heard this sanctimonious Nancy Pelosi calling for prayer for our country. Let's point out, by the way, I'm not a fan of Nancy Pelosi calling for prayer for the country.
No,
But,
I think it's ridiculous, but...
She said, that reminds me of an arsonist, a pyromaniac with a match in his hand. And by the way, he should have said her, but about to set a building on fire saying, pray with me that the destruction I'm about to cause isn't too severe. Bring this nation together. She will drop this impeachment effort. Let the American people decide from now at the ballot box. No, this is not how this shit works. And if you were a truthful person instead of a piece of shit, you would say, you know what? Let's let the impeachment inquiry come through so that God can prevail and so that God can show that this orange motherfucker is innocent. That's what you should say instead of, because, at this point, I'm like, what is Robert Jeffress hiding?
That's true.
Like, how is he going to get implicated in this shit?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my God, bring down Robert Jeffress.
Oh, I want to see
this. If there is a God, do it. Right?
I will consider going to church again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not consider. I will attend at least 3 services. Okay, and I will actually like sing and everything. Not in like not in like protest. Like I will actually go there and be like, hallelujah to the Jesus and all that, right? All that stuff that apparently churches do these days. I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably still the same as when I went to church. I'm just thinking I have to like relearn the songs or whatever. And
no, they're still all the same.
Okay, cool. All right.
They have the words up there too.
Yeah, and if that's new, by the way, I had to start to learn that stuff from like the projector. Like the old projector, you put like the thing on it and it puts up on the screen. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Not the computer.
No, I was going to church at the same time that you were, and
no.
Well,
I went to
I also had hymnals though.
But if Robert Jeffress, at this point, that's what it sounds like, because he sounds like Rudy G.
Yeah.
Right?
Who is sounding particularly
insane. And it's like anybody that is this much like, you just need to drop it. You need to drop whatever you're doing with this guy. I'm like, why are you saying that, Mr. Jeffress?
How are you going to get implicated in this?
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. I feel like somebody probably has pictures of him with like, I don't know, one of the altar boys.
No, I don't know. I'm not going to even speculate like that. I don't know. And I'm not even going to say that on, because it'll be, it's recorded or whatever.
I don't know. Allegedly.
But no, what I'm saying is that how is Robert Jeffress involved in something with the president?
Yeah.
In something with like Ukraine or something with like Russia.
Well, but
or something with like a pay to play.
But it's like how Junior got involved.
Yeah.
Because of supposedly they had pictures of Falwell Jr. and his wife.
Yeah.
Like Jerry and Becky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and Cohen was like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice university.
It could be the same sort of thing.
Nice university you got there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. Turns out something happened to it.
Yeah,
but
it could be the same sort of thing.
But yeah, it could be a lot of to where there might be something, sure, but there's also possible like pay to play. How much is Jeffress getting paid with this?
Yeah.
There's the other evangelical lady too that like walked through and was like apparently like getting demons out of the White House and everything. And I was like, you forgot one. Stephen's still hanging in the back. Like, he's obviously there. He's not possessed by a demon. He is one.
He is one.
Like that's what they look like. They look like Stephen Miller.
They do. That's accurate.
There's no person that's 30 and looks like that. He's hanging back here. Look, I'm pointing like to Washington. I don't know. It's that direction, right? Yeah, it's over there. There it is. That's the one.
I don't know.
Like, you're looking at me, and I'm like, oh, pointing there. It's that way. That's where he is. Abortion is expected to be a key battleground for the 2020 election. It's not really. Have you noticed that? It's not. The overwhelming majority of people in the country are like, abortion, rights are okay. And federal judge blocked Georgia's ban on abortion taking effect next year. Thank you very much for that, Georgia. There you go. And Jeffress said that pro-life Christians had a champion in Trump and that the Democrats will undo everything this president has done and think about what he has done in the pro-life area. Nothing. He has done nothing.
Yeah.
Not a goddamn thing.
None of that's been him.
He has done, literally nothing. These are by states.
Yeah.
Performing unconstitutional things and signing them into law and then getting them blocked. Donald Trump has done nothing.
Correct.
He has done literally nothing except for go with Title 10 and take money away from things like Planned Parenthood, which, by the way, again, 2% of what they do is abortions. Everything else is making sure your prostate works, Donald.
3%.
Whatever. Apparently the god they worship is the pagan god of the Old Testament, Moloch. The God of the Bible doesn't sanction the killing of millions and millions of children in the womb. I think the God they are worshiping is the God of their own imagination. By the way, I'd like to point out again, real quick, he went to abortion again on this, but let's point this out again. He actually believes Moloch is real, therefore not imaginary to him. He thinks Moloch is actually a real God. And then secondly, Numbers chapter 5, motherfucker.
So he's a polytheist then?
Oh, every Christian is. Yeah. Numbers chapter 5.
Yeah.
All right. Numbers chapter 5, very specific about how abortions are supposed to happen. And the woman can't do a goddamn thing about it.
Yep.
Right? All right. We got what? One more on Jeffress.
I think so.
Yep. One more on Jeffress. Here we go.
Yeah. So, okay.
So if you tell the background, like TLDR it real quick, background.
The TLDR of Tammy Kemp, I think. Yeah, Tammy Kemp.
No, about Amber Geiger and Botham Jean.
Well, Tammy Kemp was the judge.
Yeah, I know. I meant the whole background.
Oh, okay. So the TLDR is that Amber Geiger is a former Dallas police officer who parked on the wrong floor one night last year, year and a half ago?
2 years ago, basically.
2 years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And
Kansas City's about to lose.
broke into her neighbor's apartment and shot and killed him. She went to trial recently. She was found guilty of murder, but only sentenced to 10 years. There were a lot of victim impact statements from the victim's family, from Botham Jean's family, and actually was sort of at their encouraging, because his family was, avid churchgoers, very, very Christian, so they were sort of preaching the forgiveness aspect of it. So when, at the end of sentencing, at the end of everything, the judge in the case, her name is Judge Tammy Kemp, approached Geiger, handed her a Bible, quoted John 3:16 to her, and said, "Have a mustard seed of faith." The FFRF wrote a letter in complaint and was like, yo, that's not cool, because she's not supposed to be doing that. And some people are supporting her, some people are super pissed. I'm on the super pissed side, because that is a blatant abuse of power. And if she had been advocating any other religion. And also, this is fucking Texas. Do they really think that she hasn't fucking heard of the Bible? Didn't have a copy of the Bible? Does she really think that? Like, come on.
Man.
So, Robert Jeffress had to stick his little fucking southern nose in there, saying this Christian judge is a hero who ought to be celebrated and not condemned by these leftist groups that absolutely hate God and want nothing to do but sow division in this country. And Heo Amita had some questions, because this is from the Friendly Atheist as well. So some of the questions that they have for Robert Jeffress: would the judge be a hero if she offered Geiger a copy of the Quran? Which I think is a perfectly valid question. Would Kemp's actions be okay if Geiger was openly Jewish? Like if she was, of a different faith. If Geiger doesn't accept Christ, what effect should that have on her eventual sentence? I mean, but she's already been sentenced, so. Is it always okay for a well-meaning judge to promote her personal beliefs while on the job? If the judge was known to be a progressive Christian, would she still be a hero? And of course, we know that none of these questions are going to be answered.
No, of course not.
So, yeah, and this was things that Robert Jeffress said on Lou Dobbs' show, and Lou Dobbs, of course, does not have the brain cells to attempt to challenge Robert Jeffress on anything that he is saying. So.
No. Well, there you go. Robert Jeffress.
Oh, Robert Jeffress.
He's a piece of shit.
He really is.
And I think that is, much like the Kansas City Chiefs' undefeated season is going to be over with here in a little bit, that is about it for us tonight as well. We had other stuff, but we're an hour and a half in, so there you go. So, we're going to, hopefully the week starts off awesome for all of you.
Yeah.
We appreciate all of you making it to the show this evening. Again, there's not going to be a show on Wednesday, because we're going to be up in Claremore, Oklahoma. We have a debate at 6:30 p.m. At Rogers State University at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday evening, and it's going to be whether or not Jesus rose from the dead. Mm-hmm. Turns out, probably not, by the way.
Accurate.
So that's what we're going to be doing there. And
I'm very excited for that, by the way.
Yeah, I am as well. It's going to be a good time. And then
I haven't actually seen you do this in person. Like do the debate thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you weren't ever here. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to it up there. It's hosted by the Secular Student Alliance of Rogers State University, and I do have the feeling, by the way, it'll be as well populated or as well attended as our YouTube channel is. So probably like 13 people, and that's okay. Well, right now we have 7, so wow, that's like doubling our because usually we have about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So it's like doubling our actual. Never mind. That'll be like
they did do a really good flyer of it though.
Yeah, they did.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, I do look forward to that. It's gonna be it'll be a lot of fun up there.
I think so.
And
Very
if
excited.
14 people show up, it doubles our average watching on here, and so that'll be good for us.
Yeah.
And like the intro does mention that we have the show, obviously, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
Yep. And then next Sunday night we have Neil, the 604 Atheist, is going to be here, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show. So if you watch the beginning of the show, you've already heard all this because you just stop listening. Actually, if you were at the beginning of the show, you probably didn't make it this far, anyways, right? I think the average watch time one of our shows is like 14 minutes.
I don't know.
That's why I keep asking people to give us ideas for how to be better.
Yeah.
And
I think the audience feedback is always good.
Yep, that's why.
Yeah.
Um, and then we're gonna have Navardia on in 2 weeks, and possible changes to the show coming up as well. So yeah. So hey, at least the Chiefs won. Nebraska football's awful, but the Chiefs didn't win. The Chiefs are getting fucked. Yeah. The 26 points since like 2016 or whatever every single game. Nope, not happening. And they can't stop the Colts running game. So whatever.
Bummer.
Nebraska football is god awful. The Braves won today.
They did.
Yeah, they're not gonna beat the Dodgers, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, they'll probably lose the next 2 against the Cardinals. These are my teams we're talking about. Like Nebraska volleyball was swept last night, just like I said they would be. Yeah, they're not good either. And so yeah, pro-choice, woohoo, yeah, certainly from there. So I do appreciate that 9 people came in at the end of the show. That's very nice of them.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future we give you guys something to actually come in and chat about. We continue to try to make the show better. I don't know. We'll get it figured out one of these days. Promise, folks. Like we're gonna figure out. I don't know, or it'll be the same, and we'll just have 8 viewers per episode, and that's just the way it's always gonna be.
You never know.
Yeah, and you know what? If that's the case, then that's just what it is. After all, we are a news show. It's not like anybody actually watches news.
True.
Yeah. So. All right. Let's see if Indianapolis scored yet. Hold on. I'm gonna see here. Let's see if they score yet. Yeah, they kicked the field goal. So there you go. Yeah. They have a 71% chance to win this game.
What's the score?
16-10.
Ah.
So yeah. Oh well. Kansas City wins. Yay. If not, well, you can see this is pretty shitty. So. All right, everybody. Yeah, our choice and all that cool stuff. I don't know what it's, yeah. But so we'll see all of you guys. We're gonna see if we can't live stream it up in Claremore. We'll see. We'll try. If not, we'll not live stream it, and we'll
just record it and
and
upload it later. Yeah.
And that'll be cool because then 50 more people will watch the debate, and we'll just put it on the channel, and that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, folks. Yeah, I'm going to end on the same music we started with.
I like it. It's good music.
Yeah, it's by Patrick. What? Patricios? Patrick. That's his name.
We'll say that.
I don't know. Whatever. Bye, everybody.
Bye.